Right, we are live. And we're live. Good times. Yeah, so Lucha, all of the, well, you checked them yesterday, didn't you? All of the logos should be ready to go now. All of the emotes, all 1 to 5 star. Oh, let me turn the volume down on here. Can everyone hear me okay? No volume issues? We all good? We all happy? Yeah, it was a bit crazy. We're here live from Chicago, Illinois. We should have had CM Punk debut. Right, here we go then. We're going to start things off the Women's Championship match. The one thing I would say about the votes, and again, I don't want to... Obviously, you guys can vote whatever you want, really, but I was going to suggest that maybe we leave Impact alone for a couple of weeks. Only because I feel like Impact's going to become very interesting after Slammiversary, once we know who's joined the company. So we might... I don't know, it's up to what you guys want to see, but it'd be interesting to see whether... or who they do pick up. And then obviously we can recreate it in this and... obviously have a bit of fun with that moving forward. So, of course, all these ladies beat somebody else to make it here. Let's have a quick look. So, Abaddon defeated Nyla Rose. Big Swole defeated Britt Baker. Awesome Kong defeated Bea Priestley. Hikaru Shida defeated Riho in what was a 5-star match, if I remember correctly. And we saw Chris Statlander defeat Penelope Ford in what was also a 5-star match. It was 5 stars. Well, I'll give it time, Jay. All the likes seem to come in like a short period of time. I did tell you yesterday, didn't I? I contacted YouTube about it, and they said, "Yeah, that happens. That's fine." I was like, "Well, it's not fine." And they're like, "No, yeah, it can sometimes happen." Because I looked in the analytics of the video, and it shows a completely different like and dislike ratio than what the video itself shows, which I don't quite understand. Like the video shows like 16 likes and 12 dislikes. So the analytics shows 16 likes and 12 dislikes. Yet the video itself shows like 4 likes and 6 dislikes. Like I don't understand that at all. That can't be right. That can't be just the little fob off like, yeah, that can happen. We're working to try and make it more accurate. Yeah, you know. Hey ho, at least I just don't want it to affect the videos and the algorithms and stuff like that. That's the only worry that I've got, but should be fine. Good evening, Barry Gray. I don't think the pub's going to have much effect on me now, to be honest. I've been drinking so much more since I've been at home, because it's so much cheaper. That's the thing that I think a lot of people might notice from the pubs being shut, is that it's so much cheaper to drink at home than it is at the pub. I mean, I've got a crate of 15 bottles of Budweiser for tonight, and that cost me £9. You go to the pub, you're paying, well, for 15 bottles of Budweiser, like 30, 40 quid, something like that. You're crazy. So, of course, it will give a ranking point for every elimination as well. And, of course, this is the finale tonight. So, both AEW and NXT will have their matches. Why is there no logo on the side of the ring? I knew there was a problem with this arena. The bloody logo didn't load up. Those are the best streams, they are, Barry. We've had a few of those already, to be honest. I think AEW is leading in regard to quality at the moment. But it's all down to what you guys want to see, I suppose. It's not just... Well, it depends what your sort of ideas are. I mean, I know Lucha's going mainly on match quality. But I suppose there's lots of different things you can look at. There's the quality of the roster. There's potential feuds we haven't touched. And even the rankings, where certain people sit in the rankings, we can have a look at as well. So there is a lot of different things we can look at. But ultimately, like I said before, just because a brand gets voted off, it doesn't mean it's the last we'll see of them. I mean, there's a chance the brand could get voted back on in a few weeks' time, and that's the way it could all work. I'm also thinking of maybe creating a couple of extra brands that we could use. Just to put into the votes, just to throw things around. Good evening, Shabby Gamer Fanfiction. Let's take down there a big swallow on Abaddon. I'd like to see Abaddon win this. Saying that, I think any of these women would be pretty good. I don't like the big swole core, so maybe I would prefer if she didn't win it, to be honest. But the Shida looks pretty good. The Abaddon's pretty good. The Awesome Kong's pretty good as well. Big swole now. Blue Thunder bomb on Abaddon. There's the pin. And there's the elimination. Abaddon is out. Right, I really shouldn't have shared my views there, should I really? Big swole getting the elimination on Abaddon. We're down to 4. Big boot in the leg. One thing I have done tonight as well is I've tried to make it where the bigger matches, so for example this one, which is a Fatal 5-way elimination match of course, and also the final of the Dusty Classic, which is elimination as well, I've tried to make it so those matches are going to be a little bit quicker by changing some of the internal things that are in the settings when you create a match, so hopefully that might make it so it's not going to be too long. Yeah, I think we probably should maybe have a channel for it. That'd be a good place for it all to be. I think a promotion channel is probably quite a good idea as well. Awesome Kong rolling Shida through. Oh, not quite enough. Nice cartwheel by Chris Statlander. Shida taking Awesome Kong up to the top. Yeah. One of those views of me as well, Shabby. There's another Blue Thunder Bomb by Big Swole. This time on Chris Statlander. I've already seen one elimination from this. Shida with the Falcon Arrow on Awesome Kong. 2 counts for both, though. Wow. I expected more out of that. I can take your 7 views away. I'll copyright claim your video. Big knees in the face there by Shida on Big Swole. And Shida now, she's going to go Super Falcon Arrow. She's lining it up and drops it all onto Chris Statlander as well. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Statlander slowly getting back up to her feet as Shida now with a big knee in the face. I'll let you back outside in a minute. Shida with a pin on Statlander. Will this be a second elimination? It is. Hikaru Shida gets the elimination on Chris Statlander. There we go. And Shida looking very good here tonight. Shida with the clotheslines. Nice. Taking down Kong. Brings Kong back up now. Into the corner she goes. Shida. She's going to take her up high again. We've already seen her go for 1. Oh no. Kong fighting back and big strong clothesline. Taking the head off of Shida. Big Swole's back on her feet. Re-enters the ring. Big Swole now, German suplex on Awesome Kong. Bridges for the pin. Only a 2 count. Swole was looking so good tonight. That's my worry. She was the one in this match I didn't really want to win because of the poor core. But to be honest, she might just get their discus. That was Rainmaker clothesline really, wasn't it? The Swole Maker clothesline. And now Swole pulling the leg back on Shida. Shida sending Swole into the corner. Swole's looking strong. Swole is looking strong. Big Swole now looking to take Shida up high. She knows I don't want her to win, so she's going to do well. That's what it is. Oh no, Shida fighting back. Come on, Shida, be the hero. Oh, Shida taking the referee out in the process of taking Big Swole up to the top. Swole fighting back, though. Shida once again sending Swole into the corner. And Awesome Kong is not quite happy with Swole as well. Awesome Kong sending Swole into the corner and then a drop kick to the spine. What a big discus back fist. That could be enough to take Swole out. That hit her right in the back of the head. She didn't see it coming. She couldn't protect herself. Boom. Big Swole is out. Okay. Eliminated by Awesome Kong. There we go. Yeah. I like Shida. It took a while, I must admit. Shida was one that was a slow burner with me, but I'm definitely on board now. I weren't like on the initial bandwagon of Shida, I must admit, but I'm definitely on board now. She's a very, very talented wrestler. And now that I can talk about it, do you agree, Lucha Reject, with what I said yesterday about, for me, I said that Shida versus Penelope Ford may have been the match of the night of Fyter Fest Night 1. Shida slamming Kong's face and then dropping a big knee as well. Yeah. Yeah, they seem to have, I suppose with the virus and that sort of stuff, they've not been able to use Riho as much maybe, but they seem to have cooled down on Riho a bit, haven't they? Maybe once things ease up a bit. The problem is America's going through their... I don't know if I'm correct on this, but they're still going for it pretty badly, aren't they? I think I preferred the Shida versus Penelope Ford match, Lucha, just because I wasn't expecting it as much. I knew the tag team match was going to be great, but that one I didn't really think it was going to be as good as it was, and it did surprise me. Nice boot in the knee, and then, oh, Shining Wizard. And, oh, still not enough. Do you like your new little Shockmaster logo then, Lucha Reject, do you? Shada's leaving too, is she, Jay? I've heard about Sane leaving, but I don't know if she's sort of... semi-retired now because some of the injuries she's had recently. I'm not sure, to be honest. But if AEW was to pick up Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane, the women's division would be greatly, greatly improved as Awesome Kong becomes our first women's champion. It's a very good first world champion, I suppose, in the women's division here in AEW. She's the sort of person you would expect to be the top of the rankings. And that's exactly where she is now. Why is there no women's championship on there? Okay, let me add that on to here now. Move that across there. Dark that. Of course, if you want to keep up to date with the rankings, they are down below in the description. There we go. Women's is Awesome Kong. The belt is going to be a bit small for Awesome Kong, isn't it, really? But it still works. 4.5 stars by Lucha Reject. I'm assuming that's what that means. Well, only because, Jay, is that AEW do have a weaker women's division. They're both very big women's talents, and they would do everything they can to get a hold of them. That's the only reason why. they'd be stupid not to look at the likes of Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler, to be honest. Right, into the interesting cage match we've got lined up. Not one that we ever decided that we were going to do on. It just sort of happened, didn't it? The feud began and we just sort of built upon it. And we had a 3-on-1 match on Dynamite the other day. Wardlow looked very, very good, but eventually the numbers game defeated him. When he took on Preston Vance as well as, of course, John Silver and Alex Reynolds. But now 1-on-1 inside a steel cage. No help for Preston Vance. Can Wardlow get some retribution? There are a lot more promotions, Jay, yeah, but like I say, with AEW noticeably having a weak as women division, there are definitely 2 women they'll definitely look at. I mean, all the ones that got released from WWE, there's only a few that I would ever consider taking to AEW. I would consider taking Zack Ryder just because of his internet presence, but I don't think he's got a lot more to offer than that. Anderson and Gallows, I would consider, because AEW are trying to push their tag team division. But the likes of Heath Slater and them, I would never even look at. I mean, EC3's one I would go for, but only in this new gimmick. I don't really like the old gimmick he used to use in Impact, to be honest. This new gimmick is working pretty well. But the money that AEW have got, if somebody came on the market that's going to greatly improve their roster, they're going to go for them. They'd be stupid not to, wouldn't they? That's the problem. NXT treat the women's talent so well. They go on the main roster, and they did have a little burst where they did it quite well a couple of years ago, but since then, the main roster have not really been that interested, is it? They've had their little run at it. They've made it the WrestleMania main event, which I don't think was the right idea at the time. And it must be frustrating for some of those women talents, especially how good they are. The thing is with Kairi is if she did go back to Stardom, which I believe is part of the rumour that she would go back to Stardom, I believe AEW and Stardom do have a working relationship, which is why Riho and Shida are both working there. So Sane could be someone else that would definitely join that same sort of group. What happened to the other 2, Jay? Yeah, Jay, what happened to the other 2? What they called the other 2 horsewomen that weren't very good? What's her name? Someone Sharif and the other one. Are they both been got rid of now, and they're just going for the Shayna Savoy Mercedes group instead? They really missed the trick by not doing the Ronda and Shayna team earlier on, didn't they? Wardlow smashed into the side of the cell. Wardlow's looked very strong so far this month, but as we said earlier on, Preston Vance has seemed to do a lot better over Wardlow. But this is Wardlow's opportunity. Nobody else can get involved. He knows this is full-on one-on-one. Is she the one who's married to Roderick Strong, Jay? Is she the one married to Roderick Strong? I know one of the 4 horsewomen was. Preston Vance now, nice fall away slam. I don't understand why, to be honest. With the main roster losing Becky Lynch, it seems bizarre to try and take Shayna back down. Shayna is such a good wrestler. Oh, it's a kick out. Shayna is such a good wrestler. I think she's probably my favourite women's wrestler in all of WWE. And the fact that they're not using her that well She should be top of the bloody... she should be top of the division the whole way through. She's the sort of quality they need to use. She's a fantastic heel as well. It just surprises the life out of me that they've not used her properly. And if they're going to take her back to NXT, which don't get me wrong, it's not terrible. At least she'll get used pretty well in NXT. But I think she can offer so much more. Preston Vance getting higher and higher. Wardlow now trying to come up and grab. That's the problem with Vince, isn't it, really? Oh, Preston's got it. He's escaped here. He managed to kick away Wardlow, and now Preston trying to get a grip with his boot, but I think he's going to be fine here because Wardlow's still down grounded, and Preston's over the top. And once again, Preston Vance gets a victory over Wardlow. Wow, Wardlow has been so squashed this month, hasn't he? He really has been squashed. I keep trying to give him opportunities, but Preston Vance now, with 3 wins out of 3 in this season, has been fantastic. I was reading the other day, by the way, Jay, that that Becky tried her hardest, apparently, to she tried her hardest to advocate for Baszler to take the championship off of her at Mania. Becky said that she knew she was going to be going away for a while, and Becky said that I really want Shayna to take the belt off me cleanly at Mania, and that would have been fantastic, but instead they decided just to hand the belt over to Asuka. What was the point? Because you just ruined the build-up you did with Shayna, and you've also ruined the whole fun with the Money in the Bank. It made absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. But that's Vince and WWE for you, isn't it? And I wouldn't be surprised if... It's the same with the tag team talent, isn't it? It's the same with the likes of the Revival. They see that they're not getting used correctly and they want to leave. And that's possibly what might start happening in Women's Division as well at some point. Right. Good victory then for Preston Vance. At least one member of the Dark Order's doing well in this universe mode so far. I have no idea, Lucha. No idea whatsoever. Yeah, say, Jay, that for some reason they just didn't like it, did they? I think for me, the problem that became with Becky is that they sat on the hype too much, and they sort of got a bit... What's the phrase? Well, anyway, just let me open the door quickly. 1 second. Let me go back in the garden. Yeah. I'm back. I'm back. Ugh. I know, it's crazy, Jay, because like I said, I think that Shayna is, well, she's my favourite female talent in WWE. She's such a good natural heel, which is very difficult to find in the women's division. But hey-ho. Well, if NXT get another run, I would like to push her if that's okay with everyone else. If NXT get another run, Shayna for a champion. Well, she didn't get buried at the Chamber, did she? She eliminated all 5 people then. She just got super put over at the Chamber. I'm sure she got all 5 eliminations. But then why do that? Why give her all 5 eliminations at the Chamber and then have her lose at Mania? It makes no sense. It really makes no sense. But at least if she goes back to NXT, she's going to be one of the main names there, and she's going to be, like you say, maybe involved in a stable that they maybe want to build up a little bit, then take the stable up to the main roster, maybe. But if Vince doesn't want to push someone like Shayna Baszler because she's a little bit too manly, then it just shows that WWE still have no idea about women's wrestling. It's all about the divas still for them, if that's the way he's looking at it. Yeah. Yeah, Terrence, Charlotte has become the female Roman Reigns now. I think even if they try and send her through as a face, it's not going to work. Yeah, Rhea Ripley as well. She was so over, Rhea Ripley as well. That Survivor Series run she had last year. Was it last year? Where she got all the eliminations against the main roster. That was incredible, and they still... It perplexes me. Because I think there's so many good members of talent in the women's division there, and they still just keep pushing the same ones over and over again that just aren't that great, to be honest. But that's the problem, Jay. You know it's bad when... it's a bit like in football. It's a bit like turning around and saying, oh, that this player should stay in the reserves. He doesn't want to go into the main roster. He doesn't want to go into the main team. He wants to stay in the reserves his entire career. That's not the point, is it? They want to make it to the bigger leagues. And if Vince has got no intention of ever giving them that opportunity in the big leagues, then they have to try and go somewhere else that will. Which is what the Revival's done. They knew they weren't going to be used very well in WWE, so they refused all the contracts and went to AEW. I suppose everyone else is different. Everyone else got released, didn't they? Whereas the Revival just refused all the contracts. But it's a pile driver there by Matt Jackson. And I think it might happen again elsewhere as well. You'll see it a lot now. And that's the good thing that AEW's offered, is an alternative. Now there's an alternative. People can sort of wait for the best option for them now, not just stick with what WWE is willing to give them. That's it, yeah, same as that, Luca, yeah. Pentagon now taking Matt Jackson up and dropping on the back of his head. I think it still is developmental, Jay, to be honest. I know it's a lot better than what it used to be, don't get me wrong, but Raw and SmackDown, I mean, we talk about the battle between AEW and NXT for ratings, but if you put Raw and SmackDown in that, there's nowhere near. Raw and SmackDown's ratings are miles ahead of both AEW and NXT. They're on bigger networks. They've got better adverts. So NXT, it might be at a higher level than what it used to be, but it is still developmental to Raw and SmackDown. They're just treating it a bit better now because they know they have to... well, they know they have to compete against AEW, I suppose. I'm not sure, to be honest, Luca. Yeah, Luca. I'm not sure, to be honest, if they are going to use Evolve as a developmental, because that's what I assumed, but seeing that a lot of the talents were released from their contracts yesterday makes me think they might have just brought them, dissolved them, and taken their library, to be honest. Big win there by the Lucha Brothers. They retain the championships. Not been the best run for the Bucks, has it, really? Match quality is not massively high so far tonight either. It's been good. Are they just cruising through this one expecting to win? I mean, NXT could still pull something amazing out of the bag. You know they have the ability, and they have a pretty strong roster as well. But the Lucha Bros get another victory. And of course, the Lucha Bros did get a victory over the Bucks as well on the previous show. And there we go. Lucha Bros. Mexican. Yeah, they can say that, Jay, but it is still developmental, isn't it? That's where the younger talent goes. That's where they build up, and then when they believe they're good enough, they move up onto the main roster, onto Raw and SmackDown. So they might try and say it's no longer developmental, but it is still, really. It's a bit like ECW. They sort of tried to say that ECW was a third brand, but all it was developmental, really. It's just a much higher grade than developmental than it used to be. Yeah, they're definitely pushing it a lot more now because obviously they want to try and stunt AEW at the same time by pushing it and making it stronger, but it is still the first level of WWE, isn't it, really? If you look at WWE in a tiered system, you've got NXT, then you've got Smackdown, then you've got Raw, which is the flagship show. And it won't be long until they start to try and take more names up, I suppose. That's what they do, don't they? They take more names up, they don't do very well, and they put them back down again. Which I've got no problem with WWE doing. If they're going to take someone from NXT, that's no problem at all. But at least give them a running chance. At least give them a storyline to go into, or a feud to go into. Something that's going to build the interest straight away. Just moving somebody up for the sake of it is a bit weird. Yeah, it's well, yeah, it's a bit like a developmental on steroids now, isn't it? It's much stronger than it ever has been. Don't get me wrong. But it is still the first place that talent goes, isn't it? They work behind the scenes in the doing that sort of stuff. Then as they move up, they definitely move up onto the higher brands. Yeah, JSI, I don't really care about the ratings war either, to be honest with you. I'm just sort of stating that if you look at the viewership and the ratings, NXT and AEW are miles behind Raw and SmackDown, so it gives you an indication of what are the big shows that WWE have. I mean, NXT doesn't get half the viewers of Raw and SmackDown. Neither does AEW. And that's on a weekly basis, of course, as well. Yeah, I think they have to now, don't they? Because they moved to, was it Fox they moved on to? I think Fox sort of stated, look, you've got to give us big talent. You've got to give us stuff that's going to sell the show, that's going to sell advertising space. So I think they had to boost SmackDown up this year, but it's always the same way with Vince. He always overdoes Raw. But historically, he's always done that. I mean, during the original like brand split and that sort of stuff, Jay, you've changed your tune a bit, mate. You've changed your tune. You were saying about how great NXT was and AEW's just a little kid that's been around and everyone's so hyped up about and they're never going to win and they'll be gone in a couple of years. I'm sure you said that last week. Yeah, I don't really bother Raw and SmackDown. I mean, if something good happens, I'll go back and watch the video on YouTube and that, but yeah, it just, yeah, it disappoints me, man. I would only ever watch NXT as a WWE thing now. Or I watch WrestleMania and the Rumble. I enjoy the Rumble. Nice headlock driver. That'd be a chance to see how much they see NXT as a real brand again. Will be when the Rumble comes round. Because there was barely, there was a few NXT, weren't there, this year in the Rumble, but not many. Jay the classic heel. Nice atomic drop by Cody on John Moxley. Of course, Moxley defended this belt twice now. Defended it against both... has he defended it twice? What's happened? Yes. So he won it against Luchasaurus. Defended against Jungle Boy, and defended successfully against Marco Stunt. Marco Stunt being the closest match, to be honest. Does that mean you're happy whatever the vote is either way, Jay? Or do you have a favourite of what you would like to keep seeing? Nice back elbow. Cody now taking Moxley up, big boot into the gut. Can you tell that's the Shockmaster, or does it just look like a Stormtrooper? I mean, I know the Shockmaster was just like a Stormtrooper ripoff anyway, wasn't it? There's the crossroads by Cody on Jon Moxley. We've got a brand new TNT champion here. 1, 2, and we have. Wow. Expected as well, but Cody... the TNT champion. Cody, the new TNT champion. He's the 4th champion in history. Brodie Lee being the first, and Luchasaurus, then Jon Moxley. Now, of course, Cody as well. Wow, Cody, good win. That surprised me, that has. It really has surprised me. Well, it hasn't surprised. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't surprised that Cody won, don't get me wrong, but I'm surprised it was so quick, is what I'm trying to say. But Cody's actually top of the rankings now. He's had a fantastic season so far. He's got a lot of points, and now he works out with the championship. There we go. Right then, so next up we've got Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho, best 2 out of 3 falls. Of course, we had this match on, was it the previous episode? The episode before, and Orange Cassidy got a cheeky roll-up win over Jericho. Then after the match, Jericho, so unhappy, he tried to attack Orange Cassidy, and Orange Cassidy got the best of him. So now we're going to best 2 out of 3 falls. Jericho believes Cassidy's win was a fluke. And Cassidy, well, we tried to do an interview with him and he just sort of looked at us strange and put his thumb up, so we didn't really get much out of him, to be honest. Yeah, I think New Japan's got a good shout, to be honest, Jay. Yeah. Nice brainbuster. Yeah, I feel like New Japan's going to be one that's going to get a an opportunity very soon, isn't it? As well as Ring of Honor's probably going to be up there. Like I said, Impact, I would like to do Impact, but I feel like if we left it 2 or 3 weeks of Impact, it could be a much more interesting roster once we see who joins at Slammiversary and if there's going to be this rehashed Aces and Eights stable. I've seen that Bully Ray's contract at Ring of Honor has now expired. Well, that to me would sort of, yeah, that to me would sort of lean towards the new Aces and Eights stable as well. Yeah, Jay, I suppose you got to think as well that if we do Ring of Honor or Impact, it's not the current day roster, it will be the alumni as well. So they both have the likes of AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, and Ring of Honor's got Daniel Bryan, that sort of people as well, and Impact will have Bobby Roode, and so it will make it a lot stronger. NWA's roster's pretty fun as well. Nice jawbreaker. What year are you in, Luca? Where's my phone's buzzing? What's going on? It's full time. Oh, it's 3-0. Great. Chelsea just scored a third then. Yep. Yep, there we go. Yeah, Steen versus Generico, both, well, maybe not Steen versus Generico, maybe maybe Steen versus Sami Zayn, or Owens versus Zayn. Yeah, the Motor City Machine Guns and Beer Money, good shouts. It'd be interesting if we do another season of AEW as well. I wonder whether we should integrate, I don't know, it's not done, but the fact that he was at ringside whether we should integrate Brian Pillman Jr. into the new season of AEW if we do go with that one. And obviously NXT will have to bring Shayna Baszler in as well. The problem is with New Japan is it's a very big roster, which is going to be tricky to do, I think. So if we do go New Japan, we might have to, if NXT sticks around, we might have to maybe hone the roster in a little bit for NXT. Just pick who we're going to use for that month, just so we can have the space we need for New Japan. And AEW might have to be the same. We'll probably remove a couple of people that are not really that much use. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. Orange Cassidy rolling Jericho through. That's how he got the cheeky victory on Dynamite a couple of weeks ago. I mean, Jeff Cobb's a shout. I mean, he was apparently on the verge of signing for the company before the COVID stuff happened. I did say beforehand, though, that I didn't want to put anybody in who wasn't a proper roster member, just a one-off appearance. But, I mean, if everyone agrees they want Jeff Cobb involved in the AEW roster, we can do. Code breaker by Jericho and Orange Cassidy. The problem is, if we say we're going to have Jeff Cobb in AEW, then, yeah, exactly what I was about to say, Lucha, yeah. If we say we're going to put Jeff Cobb in AEW, there's no way NXT's ever going to win. Everyone's going to vote AEW, aren't they? Just for the Cobbmeister. Right, Chris Jericho gets the first pin, which is his first one of the entire season. Orange Cassidy, big drop kick to the back of the head. I mean, Jericho needs this desperately because he's pretty low in the rankings. Nice backbreaker. Is he though? I still think AEW needs some sort of cruiserweight division. I think they might do that at some point. They'll have a cruiserweight championship because, I mean, they've got a lot of people that could really be in that and make it very strong. And I think Brian Pillman would be a good option for that as well. I'd like to see the whole stable come across. The Pillman, well, maybe not Teddy Hart because he's just a problem, but Pillman and Dave Boy Smith Jr. Walls of Jericho locked in. Cassidy able to break free. That beer empty? No, it's not. You had heard of Jeff Cobb? The man, the myth, the legend. Jeff Cobb's amazing. I mean, I think the thing that made Battle Riot so cool was the fact that you could see Jeff Cobb doing that. He's the sort of guy, he's big, he's strong, he's agile, he's got great resilience, he's got great energy. He's the sort of man you could see going 1 to 30 in a Rumble like that. It's a possibility, Jay, yeah? I think AAA's got a deal with everyone, though, haven't they? Aren't AAA also in a deal with Impact as well? Big elbow missed. Jericho with a Lion Soul in for the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Jericho gets a 2-0 victory in this best 2 out of 3 falls match and puts Orange Cassidy in his place. Jericho gets himself up to -1 in the rankings with that 2-0 win. And there we go. Jericho needed that desperately, didn't he? Really needed that. I'll tell you what, AEW's not had the best of shows so far, so NXT have got an opportunity here. If NXT pull off a cracking pay-per-view, which they have the ability to do, they have the talent to do. They might just be back in this one on match quality. I'll tell you what, Terence, that's actually a really, really good analogy, to be honest. Jeff Cobb, I mean, he's maybe not quite as aggressive as Joe was, or submission-based, but it's a very, very good analogy, and I like that. Yeah. There's a good chance NXT could do. I haven't got this match written down yet. I need to put it in. So, Jake Hager. So, this one is for the chip. The winner of this one will get a future AEW Championship match. If this season does not carry on, then they will keep that chip until the next time AEW is back on the show. So it is effectively going to be like a championship they will keep a hold of. So, yeah, if NXT stays on and AEW goes, then when this does come back, we will still have the opportunity. It's going to be treated like a Money in the Bank, so championship match anywhere, any time. Right. All the football is finished for the night. Huzzah! I'm on to my third. My beers aren't going very quick. I'm at 15. I'm only doing 3. Good old antivirus. It's like we are seeing exactly what your we're seeing exactly what your location is. We know you're in Sunderland. Nah, bloody not. I'm nowhere near Sunderland. Well, I'm guessing that that's not working too well then, is it? There we go. Oh, I left the entrances on for the match of 8 people. How annoying is that? Right. It's looking that way, Lucha, isn't it? I would still like to see... James Storm join AEW just to make the Cowboy Tag Team. Yeah, I think Brian Cage will be in the Impact roster as well, yeah. I think that's about it for Brian Cage. Trust the match that's got the most people in. Out of all the matches I could have messed up, it's the one with 8 people. I thought the loading screen was a bit long. Did you see the end of the show, Lucha Reject, then? The end of Fyter Fest? What did you think of that? Where we again saw a little bit of tension between Omega and Adam Page. But the way that it was pretty interesting with Omega with the Bucks and Adam Page with the Revival. That was very interesting. Come on, entrances. No one cares about you. I think I'll have myself a beer. Oh. Yeah, I think Omega and Page is going to end up splitting up. It might end up... I think it'll be soon. I think they might end up dropping the belts to... I'd like to see him drop the belts to either the Bucks or to the Revival. Then they can build up to the big tag team match at All Out, which we know is going to happen, the Bucks versus Revival. And then we could also work towards Hangman Page versus Omega, Omega as well. Nobody likes entrances. There we go. There we go, right. This could be a quick match. This could be a very long match. We don't know yet. Ladder matches are notoriously a little bit random on this game. We see the chip dangling from above the ring. The round chip that is a very briefcase-shaped chip. So one of these men is going to get themselves an opportunity to the AEW Championship at any time of their liking. Tell you what, I mean, I don't know if you could do it same night, but there's a chance they could even cash it in this evening, you know. I don't know if you can do that or not, to be honest, but once the show's begun, I'm not sure if you can put that in, but there's an opportunity for it. Yeah, it might be a long one, Terrence, maybe. I mean, all these people are very strong. They do a lot of damage, but at the same time, they're all very resilient and don't take a lot of damage, so that's a tricky one. MJF, nice shoulder block, taking him down. They're definitely pushing Private Party, aren't they? I mean, I knew they were going to push them quite a bit because Private Party knocked the Bucks out of the Tag Team Championship tournament at the very beginning, didn't they? Yeah, that looks very possible to me, Jay, to be honest. Unless they make the tag team match like a triple threat or fatal four-way like you were suggesting, but I don't know if they will do. I think if they're trying to push this whole idea of FTR wanting to be like a very good classic tag team, then they might just stick to the classic 2-on-2. The problem is, though, with the Bucks and the Revival is the pressure is on. There's so much hype leading up to that tag team match that they have to provide possibly one of the best tag team matches in history. They have to. Because the pressure is there. The hype is there so much they have to do it. And I believe they could do, to be honest. They're two very talented teams. What are we doing ranking-wise here then, by the way? Because normally I would give somebody 1 point for each opponent they beat. And this is an 8-man match. Does the winner of this match get 7 ranking points? And all the losers get -1? Or do we just ignore this match in the rankings and just give the chip away? What do you guys think? What would you like to see? As Hangman Page and Luchasaurus up in the ring. I mean, if Brody Lee was to win this, that'd be incredible, because Brody's had such a bad time this month. And a really, really bad time. I think maybe Wardlow and MJF need to rejoin up as well, because MJF's not done fantastically well. He's had -2 this season. Wardlow on a -1. So maybe those two could do with sharing a bit of time together. The Dark Order's doing pretty badly. Revival's doing pretty badly. Brody Lee's bottom of the rankings, though. He's had 4 matches and lost all 4 so far this season. No points. That's the thing, Jay. There's so many good options. And because it's a new company, really, we haven't seen a lot of the feuds before, which is pretty good. It's all going to be very new, which is going to add a lot of differences to it, which I quite like. I say Hangman, I see going off with Omega, possibly. I mean, maybe if the Hangman and Omega team... The Hangman and Omega team continues on, then possibly they could do a triple threat for the Tag Team Championships. Hangman and Omega versus the Bucks versus FTR. That'd be a pretty interesting match. PJ Tovey's in the house. Yeah, that'd be pretty good, maybe. I mean, they've done Moxley versus Brody, which was quite a good match, to be honest. And Jay, you're assuming that Moxley's going to keep the belts against Cage, which I also assume, to be honest. If Moxley wins this is going to be a hell of a surprise, because he's had, not Moxley, sorry, Brody. He's had a hell of a bad season so far. Come on, what are they doing? MJF, what are you doing? Knock the ladder over. Brody's going to win this. Push him, Mox. Push him, MJF. Push him. This is proper 2K, this, isn't it? Proper 2K. This is the opposite of the Battle Riot. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He's actually won it. Oh, my God. Well, I'm happy because Brodie Lee won, but I mean, that's got to be 1 star. That ending. I mean, it was okay up until then, but that ending was shocking. I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say to you at this point in time, I must admit. Yeah. Well, there you go, Terence. You thought it was going to be a long match, and it went, no, we won't make it a long match. We will be nice and quick for you. And that was shocking. Yeah. NXT's got a great chance here of pulling this out of the bag, you know. I suppose the only plus point is that Brodie Lee's got an opportunity at the championship in the future. Double or nothing chip. They got the opportunity. It's a strong card NXT are putting forward. But this one could save them. Pac versus Omega. Of course, Omega, the current AEW champion. And Pac, the #1 contender after winning that 10-man Royal Rumble on the opening week. And there we go. Right, let's get into it. I mean, if any match is going to be a banger, it's going to be this one, isn't it? If we can rely on any match, it's got to be this one. Yeah, Pac is pretty good, isn't he? He's not even got high rating. I mean, he's normal rated. He's not, like, higher than he should be. Like, the likes of Pentagon's a bit higher than he should be, but Pac is at a normal level. So I don't quite understand where he gets it all from, to be honest. I see the dislike crew haven't turned up yet. There must be somebody or some group of people that come in and dislike the video, you know, because we've had none yet today. Which I appreciate. Thank you very much. If you've not already, please hit the like. Help boost this video and maybe find a few other really random new people. Yeah, Moxley versus Archer will be interesting. That could have been awful. That really could have been awful. If that was a count-out victory, that could have really destroyed AEW's chances. But then, nice boot right in the side of the head there by Pac on Omega. Omega slides back in. I'm annoyed with this arena, you know, because none of the Double or Nothing logos have loaded. What a knee in the face by Omega on Pac. Big boot in the spine as well. And a boot in the back of the arm. Pac and Omega need to pull this one out the bag. Otherwise, NXT have got a serious chance of pulling out the win. Omega now dropping Pac face first across that top rope. Ooh. Pac just kicking him away. Boot in the arm. And just drilling the face of Omega into the mat. Pac bringing Omega back up once again. Front chancery. Elbow into the back of the shoulder. Clever move, that one. Because he knows there's an opportunity he can potentially work towards that Rings of Saturn or the Brutalizer submission. by weakening those arms. Going to make it a lot easier to lock in. And get the tap from, of course. Nice spinning heel kick in the gut. Pac sending Omega off the ropes. Ducks underneath. Nice, taking him down. And Pac is looking incredibly good here tonight. He's had some good momentum built forth this month. We've only seen Omega once so far, and he didn't do very well. I think light heavyweight championship or cruiserweight belt, definitely, Jay. I think it would be a good way of getting some other people on. That's what I did in my universe mode. I put in a cruiserweight belt just because I thought it would really add another aspect in. There's a lot of good high flyers in that roster, and if they're going to add someone like Pillman Jr. in there as well. Omega, nice crossbody to the outside. If it ends with a one-wing angel or red arrow. I thought that would make the sense, wouldn't it? Nice spinning heel kick there by Pac right into the face of... If this ends in a counter, I'm rioting. Get up, Omega, get up! Get up! Omega, don't do this to us. Don't do this to us, Omega. Oh, thank God for that. Is a better name. I always preferred the cruiserweight to the light heavyweight, to be honest. Cruiserweight just sort of rolls off the tongue a bit easier. Nice powerbomb out the corner there by Pac. Well, not by Pac, by Omega on Pac, shall I say. Omega brings Pac back up to his feet. Into the corner. Well, he might actually be going for One Wing Angel now by the looks of it. Hooks him up. And he is going One Wing Angel. Not very good though by Omega though. He's got his back to the hard cam. Wow. Wow. Well, Omega retains his championship. But it wasn't the best match it could have been. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing at the same time. And that is the fight. And there's a handshake as well. That's even less likely, isn't it? And that is the final match of this season of AEW. Pac versus Omega. Omega retains his championship. And Pac loses. But is that going to be enough? Is that going to be enough?